You found a home that you really love, but it's listed as is. Should you take a look or should you just move on? Or you're planning to place your home on the market, but you'd rather not spend a lot of time and money on repairs. Is listing as is the best solution? Well, in this video, I'll answer many of the questions I hear frequently from buyers and sellers regarding as-is property. So let's dive in. Why do some sellers list their home as is? Well, some of the most common reasons are A, the property was inherited from a parent or relative and the heirs live out of town. B, the estate is being administered by a third party. C, the sellers don't have the ready cash to make repairs. Or D, the seller may be elderly and is unwilling or maybe unable to put in the effort. It might even be a combination of reasons. The first thing you need to know is here in Arizona, all home sales are as is, whether or not the term as is appears in the listing. What? I hear you say. Well, this is one more reason you might want to work with an experienced agent who knows the contract when buying or selling a home. Here it is. Section 5, lines 191 and 192, condition of premises. And I quote, buyer and seller agree the premises are being sold in its present physical condition as of the date of contract acceptance. End quote. In other words, as is. So let's review some common questions that arise with as-is properties. If my offer is accepted for a home listed as is, and then I find something wrong with the property, am I obligated to complete the purchase? Well, the answer is no. Even with an as-is property, there is a due diligence and inspection period. If you discover something wrong during that time, you can either request that it be repaired or you can withdraw from the contract. Now, the seller might decline to make repairs, but that might also open the door to more negotiations. Remember, a seller is never obligated to make any repairs, whether or not the home is offered as is. But that doesn't mean a buyer is required to accept the home if something seriously wrong is discovered. If I make an offer on an as-is property, does that mean I can't have the home inspected? That's another no. No matter what the condition of the premises is, you can and you should have the home inspected. If a property is in poor condition, that might indicate neglect and there could be hidden issues. Bringing in a good home inspector is always worth it, and I happen to know some, by the way. You should also have the home inspected for termites. Just remember, this is not the market of 2 years ago when buyers were choosing to forego a home inspection just so they had a better chance of getting their offer accepted. Unless a buyer has a greater than average and comprehensive knowledge of home construction, in my opinion, for whatever that's worth, foregoing a home inspection is rarely a good idea. Is an as-is listing a good indication that you're getting a great deal? No, again. Simply offering the home as is no guarantee that the owner took the home's condition into consideration or made any adjustments when setting the price. As with any listing, it is up to you and your agent to determine a fair market value for the property, whatever its condition, before you make your offer. When a home is offered as is, does that mean the seller is not required to disclose defects? Well, that's a big no. Regardless of the home's condition or its as-is status, Arizona statutes stipulate that a seller must disclose all known material facts about the property. Now, going back to some of the reasons a home may be offered as is, it is possible that the sellers are not familiar with the property at all and may never have seen it or been inside. This, however, does not release them from the obligation to complete a seller's property disclosure statement, or SPUDS as we call it. They simply have to state on the form that they have no knowledge of the property's condition and cannot comment one way or another regarding the individual items listed on the disclosure. Is it true that a seller does not have to offer a buyer credit or repair any defect if the home is listed as is? Again, no. And there seems to be a pattern developing here, if you didn't notice. As I pointed out at the beginning of this video, the Arizona Purchase Agreement is an as-is contract, and a homeowner is not required to offer credits or to make repairs even when the home is not listed as is. That said, there may be health or safety issues uncovered during the home inspection, and it is not at all uncommon for buyers, sellers, and their agents to negotiate a solution, even when a property is listed as is. After all, everyone has the same goal to get the home sold, and that often means compromise on both sides. Is it true that if a seller lists a home as is, buyers will come running? Well, that depends upon a number of factors. Is the home in a desirable neighborhood? Is the price attractive? And even if the seller is not willing to make repairs, have they done what they could to make the property appealing? Homeowners might attract investors who follow today's fix and flip craze and who don't mind purchasing properties in less than ideal condition, but they do expect the price to reflect that. It's important to consider, however, that an as-is listing can turn some buyers away, especially if they're looking for a turnkey move-in ready home or are not DIYers looking for a project. Some buyers look at an as-is listing in a negative light, thinking the sellers might be attempting to conceal serious problems. So in the end, it's all about perception. Just as there are sellers who may not wish to make repairs, there are buyers who would rather not expose themselves to unnecessary headaches by purchasing an as-is property with unknown issues, whether or not those issues actually exist. Does purchasing an as-is property leave the buyer without legal protection? Another no. As a home buyer, you are entitled to the same legal protections and remedies available to the buyer of a home that is not being offered as is. The seller is bound by the same disclosure requirements and is not relieved of any legal responsibilities or duties. Does homeowner's insurance cover defects in a home that is listed as is? Well, it is extremely unlikely that a homeowner's policy will cover a claim for an issue if it is determined to have been a pre-existing condition. So it's probably not a good idea to plan upgrades to the home based upon the assumption that your insurance company will foot the bill. But here is where I get back into my lane. I am a real estate agent and not an insurance agent. So if you are considering purchasing an as-is property with specific issues, you should direct your questions to your insurance company. And be sure to get the answers, by the way, before you make the offer. Will I be able to get financing for the purchase of an as-is property? Well, this is a question actually for your lender, but in general, only serious health and safety issues might impact your ability to obtain financing for any home purchase, whether or not it's listed as is. Lenders will not provide financing for homes that are not considered to be livable. These are homes with extreme issues like inoperative plumbing, electrical problems, holes in the roof, or broken windows, simply because the home has bad paint, outdated countertops, cabinetry, and fixtures. That should not prevent a lender from financing your home purchase. Can I purchase a home warranty for a home listed as is? Well, yes. Just remember that a home warranty is meant to cover systems and appliances that fail and issues that occur after you purchase the home. Pre-existing conditions, already faulty appliances, and defects uncovered and documented during the home inspection will likely not be covered by a home warranty. My advice, look at the specifics of your policy. No two are alike, by the way, and raise any questions you might have with the company that provided your home warranty. I'll say it one more time. The Arizona purchase agreement is an as-is contract in black and white. That's the way it's written. The only reason to add the words as is to a listing is to give buyers a heads up that the seller does not intend to make repairs or offer credits, but in the end, it does not mean they won't. So, have you ever purchased an as-is property, or have you ever listed a home as is? How did it go? Let me know in the comments. And while you're at it, please hit the like button for me, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Cheers.